Okay, so a friend of mine's a real good friend of mine, his wife posted a question about detoxing and a good place to start. So naturally, when looking at a detox program, thanks to the media, people are limited to thinking that you have to go for a special type of drink or a special type of diet. Now, this does help a lot of people in the sense because it helps them kind of start in the right direction towards a healthier lifestyle. So let's kind of dive down a little deeper the rabbit hole into what detox actually means, okay? So the basis of it is basically detoxing, chemicals and stuff out of your body. So why do people detox? Well, you have two different reasons. One, people want to lose weight, okay? Two, people want to be healthier, all right? So when you detox, you do achieve both those goals. So regardless of what type of diet that you choose, if you choose a special 30-day cleanse, if you choose a special 3-month detox delivery program, if you choose to do a special drink every day, and you follow a program giving by it, you're most likely going to achieve the weight loss goal. It may be 7 pounds, it may be 10 pounds, and it could be sometimes extreme up to even 15 pounds in a month's time. Now, let's understand this a little bit better. Once you go from an unhealthy lifestyle to just a moderate healthy lifestyle, you're gonna see some weight reduction. Now, the reason why it's not really because of a detox or anything like that, it's simply because if you are just eating less than what you were eating before, even good calories, you're gonna lose weight. The detoxing part, especially if you follow a special drink and a special diet, they call it like a 30-day cleanse or the 3-month blast or whatever it is, it's basically just revolved around a moderate calorie intake, and the drink or the pills that you gotta do or this and that, or the diet you're following is just remotely going off of lower glycemic foods, and you tend to be just basically busting out a lot of water weight. That's where the large weight loss comes from. This is why everybody loses weight at the beginning of a diet. It does not matter what you do. You can do intermittent fasting, you can do low carb, you can do high protein, you can do the Scooby-Doo diet. It does not matter. If you're following it and you're actually hitting a calorie deficit, you're gonna lose weight. And if you're doing it from an unhealthy lifestyle to a moderate healthy lifestyle, then you're automatically most likely gonna shed out 10 pounds of water in the first week or so, okay? Now, with that said, you could still be in a calorie deficit, go eat out at a restaurant, still be losing body fat, but gain 10 pounds of water overnight. Why is that? Because you're relating your weight gain to water weight, okay? Anyone can drop water weight, all right? I'm telling you this from an ex-professional fighter who've lost 20-something pounds in one day multiple times. It's not healthy, but I'm just saying it's possible, okay? So water weight diets that result around you losing a lot of water weight are just hocus pocus, okay? Not things that you really want to rely upon. So let's look at detoxing. There's two different reasons why people detox. One is because they are trying to lose weight. Two, the other person is just trying to be healthier, okay? Detoxing tends to normally lead towards actually more healthier people, but the vast majority of people still, are obviously going for weight loss. So like I explained before, the water weight is where the massive weight loss comes from in detoxing. Now, why is detoxing pointless, in my opinion? Okay, so if you're an unhealthy individual and you do a detox program, and they can work, they can flush chemicals and toxins out of your system. They can, get your liver to excrete all the toxins that it's basically made to filter out for you. You can make yourself very sick, okay? You can make yourself very sick because you're basically just trying to push everything out that you've been eating for years on end at a week's time. I mean, your body goes into overload, okay? So I'm not a fan of detoxes because of that, because I never know when someone's lying to me, which is basically 99% of the time when they're trying to tell me about their lifestyle. And when they detox, shit can kind of hit the fan, okay? And people most of the time don't understand how sickly they really already are. Now, the other thing is that detoxing is what I call a hocus pocus trend, because it does not matter what 30-day cleanse you do, 3-month blast, 1-week drink fast, whatever it is, if you're not eating healthy, you're never gonna detox your body, okay? You will release chemicals, you will release excess water weight, okay? You might even lose a little bit of body fat. But if you continuously just keep eating garbage, even in a calorie deficit so you can lose weight, you're still not getting any healthier, all right? Now, before people freak out, some health individuals are gonna listen to this video and be like, well, that's not true. You know, the smaller you are, the better. So yes, okay? Pretty much any disease known to man, if you're unhealthy and overweight, okay, every disease leads back to obesity, okay? So if you lose weight, you will be healthier, okay? But there's two different types of people on this earth. They're the people who wear their weight, okay? Those are the fat people that walk around, you can tell they're fat. And then you got the other unhealthy individuals that hide their weight. They hide their health. These are the ones that constantly just keep eating donuts, keep eating pizza. You see them drinking Dr. Peppers all the time, but they don't seem to gain any weight. Well, one, they may not be really in a caloric deficit. Two, maybe their thyroid works really, really good. You know, they've always been lean all their life. But do you know how many people who are not overweight who drop dead? Do you know how many people who are not overweight who catch cancer? Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. The numbers are just out of this world, okay? So yes, obesity and being overweight is a clear indicator of you living a poor, unhealthy lifestyle, and you're more reluctant to get sick. But just because you're not overweight does not mean that you cannot get sick. So, does detoxing really work? If you're willing to live a healthy lifestyle day in and day out, yes, all right? This is why I'm not a fan of diets, all right? Now, when it comes to dieting, I've had athletes, I've had people who are in tune with their body, who are fitness enthusiasts. These people are good for diets because they already have the mental fortitude to live a healthy lifestyle, and they're willing to take that extra step, maybe to lose weight or gain weight for a certain competition or certain reason that's important to them. But for the vast majority of people in this world, they should not be on diets, okay? So there's a lot of different things, but you know, if you just eat a well-rounded diet with no processed foods, minimal sugar, sprouted grains, a lot of fat, yes, I said fat, you're gonna be healthy. So you don't need low-carb diets, okay? Because low-carb diets only work for certain type of body types, all right? Otherwise, your body doesn't do well. The vast majority of people don't do well on low carb. And when I mean low carb, I'm not talking about 50 carbs a day. That's stupid, okay? I'm talking like bare minimum 100 grams a day, all right? And even higher in some cases. Most people need a moderate carb diet. But where your carbohydrates come from, well, that's even more important. I'm not really worried about you necessarily being on a low carb diet, but I am worried about your food sources, especially, okay? That's a whole nother video. It's the same thing with intermittent fasting. A lot of people will boast about the benefits of intermittent fasting. Well, the truth is, most of the people I talk to, the only thing they got to show for it every single time is, yeah, but I'm down this much weight and I've kept it off. Okay, well, once again, you've kept it off because of a calorie deficit. So all you proved to me is that you didn't have the mental strength to eat healthy before. or eat less before. Well, no, I was eating less before too. Well, then that's not possible, because your body didn't magically all of a sudden just burn up 1,000 more calories a day. Your intermittent fasting allowed you to be in a calorie deficit and lose more weight. Now, I'm not knocking on intermittent fasting. It's just a lot of the benefits of intermittent fasting are often covered up by people trying to say, well, they lost weight. Well, you can lose weight doing any diet as long as you're in a calorie deficit. Plus, the benefits that you get from intermittent fasting, you can actually get from eating all day, but just eating healthy. So it's a win-win regardless, all right? Now, I've also seen people say that, well, they're on a special diet and they're eating more than they've ever had before, but they're still losing weight. These are the people who often fall into the yo-yo dieting category, where no matter what diet they choose, they tend to eat less and less and less because, once again, calorie deficit. If I eat even less, I'll lose even more. But then your body goes into a stress state and it starts holding on to its fat, or whatever you want to call it, for that way it's easier for you to understand. So the point I'm trying to make is, it doesn't matter if you're on a detox program. It really doesn't matter if you're doing intermittent fasting. It doesn't matter if you're on high protein or worse than that. There's a lot of things that go into it. Okay, nutrition is very more in depth than people think, but at the same time, it can be very, very simple. And this is it. I recommend the Zone diet. The Zone diet, 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, 20% fat. And most of that fat needs to be saturated fat, all right? High in saturated fat. You can do 40% protein, 30% carbohydrates if you have trouble losing weight, and 30% fat instead. Once again, keep it on a higher saturated fat level. It's important for your body. That's a whole nother talk. You need fat inside your body. Now, with that diet though, you still can shoot yourself in the foot if you don't eat healthy, all right? You can use donuts, you can eat pizza, you can do all these things and still track your calories and still lose weight. And then you're gonna hit a wall and you're gonna feel like dog shit, and you're not gonna understand why. Because you're still putting an emphasis on the way food tastes than on your lifestyle. Once you start becoming healthier, your body starts appreciating food and the way it tastes, and the opportunity to taste different things. And I was the same way. I lived on supplements before because I thought that was coolness and that. You don't want to take supplements, okay? They're crap. They're low-grade garbage. I don't care what you're trying to take. It's never going to replace healthy food. So if your goal is to detox, simply eat right, okay? Eat fruits, a lot of fruits. Eat a lot of fatty meat, okay? Eat a lot of saturated fats, all right? Take it easy on the fucking nut butters. Jesus. That causes inflammation in your body. Oh, and here's another, speaking of inflammation, wait, let me go back to, I'm jumping all over the place, sorry. So back to eating healthy, because if you can still eat garbage and still lose weight, you're gonna hit a wall. I knew a lady who lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. She did Weight Watchers, she counted all her points, and she threw it in my face that she lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks, even though most of her points came from the brownies, okay? The Weight Watcher brownies. When she went back to the doctor, even though she lost 20 pounds, they did emergency stent surgery the next day because she was so bad off in her health, okay? So it does matter where your food comes from. It does matter, all right? It does matter if you're in calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. And it does matter what type of food you eat, because your health depends upon it, all right? Now, back to the stress thing. Regardless of what diet you choose, but I guess I'll kind of go back and pick on intermittent fasting a little bit more. But intermittent fasting basically gives you eating windows, all right? You may eat one meal, you may eat 2 meals, whatever you choose to do. Doing this short term has some positive benefits. Doing this long term has already been proven to induce more stress upon the body. Our bodies live in a stress state so much higher than ever before, and each year it gets worse and worse. So now you're forcing your body to stress even more because you don't want to feed it. until a certain time. Okay? And the reason why you don't die right away is because God made the human being as the most remarkable, efficient machine on earth. It adapts to everything. But that doesn't mean that because you didn't drop dead, that it's good for you. Okay? So, there's my thoughts on detox. I know I rambled. I jumped a lot of subjects, but I'm pretty sure you get the point.